Hey, you know what the deal is? I'm your girl Barbie Velvet and Widescope podcast where it's privileged to have the one and the only Vision. What's the deal, Vision?
What's up?
Man, I appreciate you taking your time out to come on to my podcast. It's like a full circle day for me. And when I told myself I could try to do your interview, I needed to. I feel like one of my biggest accomplishments in life.
Appreciate that.
Because when I was working at LACC, people didn't even know I was homeless.
Wow, crazy.
You feel me?
Use it.
I was homeless at
at LACC, homeless.
Homeless.
That's
you feel me? I was homeless. I only got that job because I was in the homeless program with CalWorks. And I did such a good job that they was like, man, we need to get you a job up here. You're doing a great job. You feel me?
Wow.
And so I appreciate you because I was going through so much stuff that being there, seeing people going through all their trials and tribulations, and seeing you walking the campus as a blind student, fresh as a motherfucker, killing classes, business oriented, and doing so many things to tell me, how can I be sad about what I'm going through?
The funniest thing is people didn't even think, you know what I mean, that I went to college and shit like that, and you know what I mean, and I'm educated, you know, because they never see, most people never seen blind motherfuckers go to school. I just say, like, blind to me, even the word is like, it's almost an insult when you say it, because it's like, I don't know how people that can see perceive that. Like, what's their thought of blind? Most motherfuckers don't even know people blind, or they might know one person, an old auntie or something. You know what I mean? But they can't relate to somebody, you know, who can't see. So blind is almost like I don't want to say too much, but I'm trying to find the right word to articulate to these motherfuckers.
I get what
it's
you're
almost
saying.
like a...
Because even the motherfucker that can see can't see.
Yeah, it's almost like a scar on a nigga, like saying, oh, she got cancer, or he got AIDS, or, hey, my nigga got diabetes, you know, type 4.
Yeah, it's like a stigma.
Yeah,
it's like a stigma.
It's even worse than a stigma. A stigma is the nigga got acne bad. But you know, this is more like, you know what I mean? Like, when I say, hey, this is my friend Barbara and she's blind, people automatically think, okay, she can't read, she can't write, she can't fucking comprehend, she don't know what's going on in the world, she not paying her own bills, she can't raise kids, she don't know how to clean her own body, she can't get, you know, to and fro to places, she's completely fucking indentured to society. And when that happens, it's like, now I gotta overcome all of that so you can deal with me in a normal capacity, like a normal fucking human. Yeah. And that's an uphill climb, because I'm steady saying, hey, I can tie my shoe, and they're steady saying, no, you can't. Or, wow, you can tie your shoe? Motherfucker, I've been tying my shoes since I can see.
His breakfast kept him legs, baby. Then I ask you a question. Did you choose music, or did music choose you?
Music chose me because my dad and my whole family was musicians and musically inclined and shit like that. So music chose me, but the hustle, but I chose the hustle.
You chose the hustle.
You know what I mean? The hustle of music.
The hustle.
You know what I mean? Because everybody, like, the funniest shit is, I lost my sight at the accident happened, or the incident, whatever you want to call it.
Do you mind taking us down there, telling us how you got to the state that you are?
Well, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, Miss Barbara, I would say, please, I would, you know, encourage everybody to go out and watch my new film on Tubi, titled Supervision. The full title is Supervision: Passion of a Hustler. And when you pull it up, you'll see it. But the key word is supervision, because no knock on Tubi, but they messed up with the initial programming of the title when they released it, and so they put it under supervision to clean it up. But it's actually Supervision: Passion of a Hustler, because it wouldn't be no supervision without the passion
of a hustler. I felt that.
Yeah, facts. So check that out on Tubi. Again, that's Supervision.
That's why I feel like it was full circle for us to meet each other, because when I met you in the classroom setting, it was almost like how I used to be when I was mad hustling.
Right.
With your daddy car in the teacher lounge, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the teacher parking lot, going to all my classes in one day because I had to get back to the hustling. You feel me?
No, look, I respected that, and I'll clarify that for your listeners and your viewers because they, you know what I mean, they probably don't understand, you know, what you mean by what you say.
That's why I'm about to break it down.
She was actually one of the instructors in
your lab class.
In my lab class. So she oversaw me typing. She oversaw me oversaw my work because I would go there to do work for other classes, whether it was business or history or English, and she would help me with all my lessons and stuff like that, and make sure everything was on point. And she was an excellent instructor and really, you know, pushed the nigga. You know what I mean? And everybody else.
They just let you be
They
boss.
just kind of let me do my thing.
Let me get y'all an average day of how my bro walk into the class, okay? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He walk in, he got a pound of smoke on him. You know what I'm saying?
I keep a bag.
You know what I'm saying? He smelling like Joe when he walk in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Cologne too, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He come in, he sit down. You know what I'm saying? He check his shoes, make sure motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Don't be these $1,000 shoes right here. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
And so.
That really happened.
But what I loved about myself and what I know is full circle for me is that I told you I didn't care about what you had on.
You told me that.
I don't care how much money you got.
You told me that.
I want you to be, you gonna come in this classroom and be the best that you could be, because I knew that I needed you to go out in the world and be great, and I looked at everybody as just normal people. You know what I'm saying? Remember that student that got hit by the train?
Yeah.
I remember I used to bring him food and help him while he was getting right, because for me, I felt like with all the stuff I was going through, and I'm pushing through, y'all was all a part of my challenge of pushing through adversity.
I can respect that, because I didn't know that, but you was always serious business when you was in class, and you would always sidebar a nigga and tell me like you know, because you peeped me, like you peeped what I was about. I was on my business shit.
I can see the greatness in you, as my boy would say. I can see the greatness in you.
I appreciate that, sis, because you would put me to the side like, bro, you lead, you smelling lead, like, you know what I mean, or you know what I mean, like hey, you got some people waiting for you outside, because I would always have
baby keep an escort, baby keep an escort.
Everything. So
and shout out to your peoples. Just a timeout. Shout out to your brothers, your homies, and your peoples who I see them hold you down no matter where we are.
Yeah, for sure.
And they got your back. And shout out to the ones that take care, because I have a 32-year-old brother with autism.
Okay.
And my mama has been dead for a long time. My brother's always been my child. I'm a 37-year-old woman who has raised a 32-year-old man. You feel me?
I gotta keep it funky though with you, sis. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you giving them a shout out. Shout out to the whole crew, all my support team. But in actuality, you know what I mean? And I don't want to sound, fuck it, keep it 100. Hey, niggas get clout from hanging with me. I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I'm the mayor of the city. Like, if you don't know me and you're from LA, then you're really not from LA. That's straight up. And if you're outside of LA, like when I'm other places, all over the country, no matter out of the country or whatever, motherfuckers be like, LA, we know such and such. And I'd say, hey man, you can call any motherfucking body, anybody relevant in the town. I say, if they don't know me, they not really relevant in this town. You feel me? Because I've been pounding and grinding and been blazing trails from the cannabis industry to the music industry.
Okay, shout out to the drinks. I see the drinks.
Yeah, Budhead soda.
But what I love is that as big
effect.
as you are and as much clout as people get hanging with you, that it's never been until now that I've ever told anybody that when people bring up in there, I'm like, man, that's a great dude.
I appreciate that.
But when I go to sleep at night, I be like, man, I thank God that I did what I could do to push that dude.
Man, you helped me like a motherfucker, because with that, see, here's the thing, and we keep it all the way a buck.
Keep it a buck on her. You know what I'm talking about?
Rooski. Look, check it. So I went back to school because I had already went to college earlier in my life, but I had got a record deal for $1.6 million with Capitol Records. That was in 2000. So I don't know what you niggas was doing in 2000, but nigga, my money was long And I put a lot of niggas that can see the work. I gave a lot of people employment. I mean, you know what I mean? I employed niggas from a lot of different hoods. I had Hoovers working with Bloods, working with, you know what I mean, 60s, working with...
And what I love about you is that you always offer opportunity, because ever since I met you and you was in LA, you was like, bro, I got this going, you know, come to Vegas and do this.
Yeah,
and I used to be
absolutely.
like, I know that you always try to be like, man, you help me, I ain't think I can help you with.
Fact.
But I want you to know is that you help me every day by shining.
You helped me because you would stay on me, and what happened was when I would go to class, I was even that much more sharper, and because I felt like it was us, like when I say us against them, like I felt like I was representing everybody who couldn't see, and I needed to represent everybody, and you were one of the instructors of the people that couldn't see, right? So when I left, what was that building called? SS?
The special services building.
Yeah, the special service. When I left that, I felt like I was representing the whole special services, and I felt like, and this is 100, you know what I mean? I felt like my whole life, even before I lost my sight, I felt like blind people, they got fucked over, like, or they just was corny, or nobody really helped. No matter how people loved, they didn't make sure they was fresh. They didn't make sure that they didn't make sure they was as I adjust my beanie on you niggas. Hey, they didn't make sure they was fresh. They didn't make sure like you know what I mean, their hygiene was up. And all you gotta do is tell a nigga to wipe his face. Hey, brush your teeth, because most niggas that can see got fucked up teeth. Right? So the whole thing about the funniest shit is people had to tell me, hey bro, you killing them. Your teeth game is killing them. Most niggas got fucked up teeth. So when you smile, know that 90% of you better than 90% of the niggas in the room. They keeping their mouth closed. Cause nigga, they teeth game ain't nowhere on your shit. And the whole thing about it, shout out to my mom. Thank God for my mom, because she was like, nigga, your dental game gonna be official. She was like, when I lost both of my eyes, and they got extracted, she was like, hey, and I had green eyes when I was a baby and as a kid. You know, my father had green eyes. I see your brother, he got green eyes. Yeah, my father had greenish gray eyes. So I already had that. So when I lost my eyes, my mom, we in there in the lab and shit, and they got the motherfucking, eye maker sitting right there. She telling them, I want his eyes to be the exact replica of his eyes. So they had to sit there and duplicate what my eyes looked like originally and how they would grow to look as a grown man.
Was it hard adjusting?
To life? Nah, because I was so young, and I had older brothers in a neighborhood that just kept me involved. You feel me? And it's cold. It almost moved me right there. That was a cold one. I was about to shed one tear.
Okay, right on Widescope we do that. You know what I'm saying? We try to, you know what I'm saying?
Because shout out to my brothers and my homies, because them niggas kept me like laced up. Like I didn't know I was, I didn't really know I was blind. Like, I played football, I rode bikes. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Brother Crusade. You know what I mean? They bought me a bike when I was 6. You know what I mean? And I couldn't see. I had eye patches on riding bikes. And then my mom, she was a soldier. We from New Orleans, like the hood.
Okay, shout out to the NOLA, baby.
Yeah, easy call. So she got me in all kind of shit, judo, swimming. I couldn't even swim, and I was in swimming class. You know what I mean? She got me into judo, and that was judo was a great sport, because it's like karate, but it's hands on, and you can fuck over a motherfucker real easy, using your hands and your feet and using their body against them. You know what I mean? So it was like perfect for motherfuckers and I use this word, so I want y'all to start using this word. It's not blind, it's sightless. I'm fucking sightless, because
to blind is like you can't
yeah, I never saw before.
Because I just see baby just cook, did it, clean up, do his thing. So it's like baby, like he said, I'm just sightless, I'm not blind.
Yeah, because blind mean I haven't seen shit ever. And no disrespect to blind people, but I respect them. And what they go through and how they have to live life and navigate this world. But I'm not that. You know what I mean? I know how, you know what I mean, a lot of shit look, because a lot of shit, you know, it ain't really nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? I know how, you know what I mean, Bruce Lee looked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know how the black Michael Jackson looked. You know what I mean? I don't know how the white one look. I don't know how to
You know,
but I got the black one.
That's
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. For
yeah,
sure.
The big nose and the Jerry
Yeah,
curl
okay.
with the zippers on the jacket. I remember that. You know, with the white glove with all the rhinestones and shit and the penny loafer. I saw that. I know what Chuck Norris looked like and, you know, shit from Gilligan's Island.
What is one of your favorite moments musically?
Musically, my favorite moment. Musically, my favorite moment. Those I got a couple. So, as an artist, musically, my favorite moment was working with Battle Cat, being produced by the legendary DJ Battle Cat.
Shout out to DJ Battle Cat.
You know, Mr. BC Powder himself. And I was telling you off camera when you told me the story about you and Cat and how
he
y'all
said
met.
he said I was a child of God, baby, and I appreciated that.
So I've been knowing Cat since I was like 13.
Okay.
Right? That was early 90s. And I think I met him when I opened for Tupac when I was 13. That's when I first met Battle Cat at Club Verticals, which ended up being Glam Slam.
I had to feel good.
Yeah. I actually, the fucked up thing is, so when I met Tupac, I'm 13 years old, and I had just started smoking weed. So I'm backstage, but I'm with my mom, and you know, I'm with the label that's trying to sign me, and which was called they was called like Nam Records or something, and they bought the night, so they was like the promoters of the show.
Of the show, okay.
Right now,
ideally they would have their artists.
Yeah, they had their artists open up for the headliner.
Yeah.
But Tupac, he had a song called "Brenda's Got a Baby Out."
Yes.
And remember, I'm 13 years old, so the song didn't resonate to me, right? So when I met him and he was asking me what I thought about the song, and mind you, I'm a cocky ass little
typically,
young,
I was gonna say, being yourself. I
was like, that shit's trash. You know what I mean? I told him that shit's trash. I didn't like it. I was like, and I told him I wanted to hit his blunt, and he was like, nigga, you a kid, blah blah blah. So he didn't smoke with me, but I was a little irony. It's funny. Shout out to Faison Love, because I used to be with Faison Love and everybody from the Parenthood. I don't know if y'all remember that show Parenthood, but I used to be with them. Reagan Gomez and all them, and I saw Faison Love like years later, and he said, "You was a little irony motherfucker." And I was like, I had to go look up the word irony, because I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, like irony. Like, nigga, you talking King's language and shit, right? So I went and looked it up, and it said, cocky, aggressive, abrasive at times. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of was in hindsight, because I couldn't see. So I was pushing my line. Like, when I would get at a motherfucker, I'm getting at that.
Did you always feel that you had to press your line?
Yeah, I feel like I always had to press my line.
Do you still feel like you always had to press your line?
Even right now, even to this day.
Because I'll be like, because you press the line. Because you're trying to press the line on me. We was in that lab, we was at that school, you sure trying to press that line on me.
I press lines, because that's the only way I feel like somebody sightless can get anything done. Closed mouth don't get fed, and open hand can't grab nothing. You know what I mean? I'm touching everything. My hand steady open. I'm steady grabbing. I'm eating. I feel like, I made a pact with God when I was 13. I said, look, God, if I'm gonna have to live this life of sightlessness or blindness or whatever, I want to be successful. I want to be fresh. I want to have the baddest bitches. I'm telling you what I said to God. This is at 13. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll ride with it. You got a plan for me? I got to be breaded out. So God actually, through the process from that point till now, I've always seemed to have bread. And thank you, Father God. And I've always seemed to have the baddest, women and lifestyle and everything. Everything A1. Everything has always been A1, and I thank God for that. But He has made it more challenging. Like it hasn't came easy. Like I have to work super hard.
What do you feel some of your biggest challenges?
Well, I want to answer, finish answering the question. So as an artist, Battle Cat was my greatest moment. I actually cried. And fuck it, keep it 100. I cried in the studio. This nigga produced the Stevie Wonder flip, and he made me write every fucking word in front of him, right? And record the shit 2 words at a time. The shit took 6-7 hours to make one song. Like it was moving, and I was thinking about all this shit that you're taking me through kind of right now with moms and what she had to go through, and this, that, and the other, my brothers, and and the whole shit, the hood, and the whole shit, right? Mm-hmm. And it just was moving me, and I was weeping, kind of, like, not crying like a bitch, but weeping, tears of joy. And now I'm in the studio, produced by Battle Cat, and this nigga producing me like I always wanted to be, because my whole career I always just worked with different producers, and I never had a producer really produce me, a legend. And that was a movie.
And that's a West Coast legend.
Yeah, and I'm from the box. I'm from South Central. He's from South Central, so that was an honor, and it moved me. And then as a performer, it was performing with Stevie Wonder at the 2000 Democratic Convention. Wow. Right before Al Gore accepted the nomination to be the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. And he got robbed that year, so people don't remember that or whatever. But I was actually the first rapper to ever perform at a political event in 2000. And then I was the first rapper to ever perform at the Staples Center, because that's when the Staples Center just opened, and that was one of the first main events besides the Lakers kicking off their season. The Democratic Convention of 2000 was major, and I performed with Stevie Wonder. So that was a big honor for me as a performer, and that's actually a clip of that is in the film. Actually,
y'all make sure y'all check that film out, Supervision, baby, because that is good. That has got to be a great documentary. Yeah, what people don't understand is like with me, that's what's the third one? What's the third one?
The third one is a songwriter. As a songwriter, my biggest accomplishment.
You need to take that?
Oh, fuck that.
All right, go ahead.
My biggest accomplishment was as a songwriter. It was writing songs for movies and television shows. Some of your favorite. You can Google a nigga and look up my discography, but a gang of them, I wrote a song for Desperate Housewives. I got a check in the mail for $22,000. I wrote a song for this movie called Bad Company with Chris Rock and Anthony Hopkins. 50 bands. And it was just me, no bullshit. I used to clown and shit with the homies. And I used to say, oh yeah, I made that. I wrote that song sitting on the shitter. You know what I mean? Like, Like, it's nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And I used to think like I had I had favor with God, but I misutilized the favor with God. I just thought the money just was gonna come forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just breathing and money would come. Mm-hmm. And then he made it, you know what I mean? He wanted me to humble myself. And he sacrificed me to the cannabis industry and made me hustle like a little fucking roach on the street and sell gram for gram and eighth for eighth and build and rebuild my empire. You know what I mean? So he took me off the ledge, off the hill where I had, climb to, scraped and scrounged and climbed to as an MC and as an artist and shit. And then, boom, he brought me down to earth, and and I didn't want to be in the cannabis industry, but that's how I had to survive, and I ended up blowing up in the cannabis industry. To this day, I own like 19 dispensaries, various partners and shit like that, but everybody was really eating off my plate. You niggas can say you wasn't, but all y'all was, and I know it. And the fucked up thing is, if I could see, and I had a homeboy like me with the magic hand, with God favor, and smart as a motherfucker, I would have ate off that nigga plate too. I would have went along for the ride too, and I would have probably did like you niggas did and took a lot of credit and said my shops was y'all shops. I had 19 niggas saying they shops is my shops, but I pay all the bills. Everything is in my name, but it's their shop. You know what I mean? And they can look a man eye to eye, and men will believe them. I can't look a motherfucker. I ain't even trying to look you motherfuckers in the eye. When you look in my motherfucking eye, and people gonna say, man, that nigga, their vision go, he being arrogant and cocky. Nigga, when you look in my eye, you see diamonds. I see diamonds. The beers, bitch. Nah, I swear to God. And I ain't coming on your show with no negative energy. I'm just saying.
But your story is your story.
And what I wanted to go back to at school, because I didn't think college understood me. Like I felt like I was levitating in class. Like I'd just be walking up, like I'm on stilts walking past niggas, because like I had to be fresh as fuck every day. I had to smell like money. At the time I had Puff's Navigator. I had just bought P Diddy's Navigator from him, cash, right from his house. Drove off in that motherfucker, right? And that was my school mobile. That's what I used to go to school with. And I'm gonna roll up another blunt if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
And when I would go to school, I felt like I had to, I wanted to show Blind as an entrepreneur, like, hey, I'm learning what y'all teaching me in school, and I'm going right to the motherfucking streets with that shit.
And you used to talk about that all the time, and it's crazy because today's like a full circle for me, because it's like I'm entering the entrepreneur world. It's only been 3 years for me.
Big facts.
And you used to talk about that in the lab all the time, and at that time, all I knew was to get a job. That's all I ever knew. My mom, I read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It talks about I'm that book. I'm the child of immigrants.
Right.
My mom is from Venezuela. My dad is from Cuba. All my mama told me to do was get a government job.
Right.
But now
I'm from the projects, and I'm a nigga green. See, a nigga green.
So, but I learned over this time when I got into this entrepreneur shit, I learned, like, wait a minute, Barbara, what you doing for $20 an hour in one spot, you could be doing for all kinds of businesses. Because when I realized my work ethic and how I am when I apply it to the entrepreneur world, I'm very much more successful because I'm thorough. I have the skills from the job set that makes me, like now that today I got a building to work at, I got a cafe that I'm going to be running, and I tell myself, I said, wow, thank you. I tell myself, like, damn, you kind of helped me see that. Wait a minute, hold on. Because at first I didn't know nothing about like no music. I didn't know nothing about nothing.
Right.
What you had going on, what you ever accomplished. For me, I looked at it like I have a pact with God. I told God I would always be there for people who were less advantaged, whether it was when I was in jail.
Thank you for your work.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for your work. No, because you helped not only me, but it was a lot of sightless individuals that
I would walk people to class. I would do everything. And what people didn't know is that I was only a work study. Like, people thought that I was a real life teacher at that motherfucker, and that I had a real job for me. And it was like, no.
You really was, because you was serving a purpose.
I would go above and beyond because I learned in that, and I made a pact to God in that lab. I said, God, I need all the energy that I can to come to my brother. I need people to look out for my brother when he out in this world and he on his own. I need there to be another me that says, let me help him. So every time I saw a young man, especially young
you're a lot
women
better
too.
than my brother. You're a lot better than my brothers because they taught me to be a vicious hyena and a piranha, and basically, you know what I mean. Don't worry about your enemies, just eat them.
Yeah, see, my brother, don't get me wrong.
Eat them niggas.
I influenced that in my brother, but the thing about my brother is that my brother is a different type of spirit, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So you have to meet people where they are.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, I learned to make sure I taught my brother how to protect himself, how to be well. But you gotta think about it. My brother not protect himself well. My brother, he a red. He think he the Red Ranger. He fucking the up. He did taekwondo. He did all his shit. You know, he got a full-time job as a man. He's the highest paid individual at his job.
Oh,
you know,
dope.
I love that when people meet him, they always tell me how great he is. You know, how I always would see people that they wasn't dressed well, that had disabilities, and their family wasn't taking care of them. That I told myself, I sacrificed a lot of my dreams and ambitions to make sure I could be there for my brother.
Hey man, congratulations on everything.
And now it's coming full circle for me now. You know what I'm saying?
Everything your brother's accomplished as an autistic individual and grinding, that shit moves me when you know what I mean. I you know, observe, you know what I mean, people with disabilities getting their dough. Cause
he got his own podcast. Make sure y'all follow my brother's podcast, Joy Happy 24/7. You know what I'm saying? He talk about positive stuff every day. He got over 300 followers. He got over 100,000 views. You know, he edited his own videos. You know, so
I got a podcast too.
Yeah,
please
drop that.
No, please don't tune in. My podcast is called "I'm Going After Dumb Niggas Who Can See." So don't tune into it. That's the name of it. Google it. It's called. I'm on Dumb Niggas Who Can See Head. And if you can see it, you ain't getting no bread. You know what I mean? Commit suicide and donate your eyes to real blind niggas like me so we can see again and see our babies grow, because you niggas ain't doing nothing with your eyes. I'm telling you, slap yourself with a hot curler right in the face. Jug yourself with your uncle's screwdriver right out of his toolkit, because you ain't doing nothing with them fucking eyes but watching bitches' booties gyrate and watching car accidents. You niggas, I'm telling you, I'm pissed off at most niggas.
What's your opinion about music now? I mean, you get to see how where his music turns you down.
I apologize. I went
on
a tangent.
My job is to control the floor. You feel me? So I'm saying hey, tell me what you think of music, because I want that energy that you got to spill it to tell me about what you think of hip hop right now.
Yeah, what I think about hip hop right now.
Especially the freestyle battles, because when I seen you in Las Vegas, I learned, I didn't know all the stuff that you had accomplished and did. Yeah. All that I knew was that you was the most well-kept man. I knew about the cannabis industry, remember?
Right.
But I never really...
You didn't know I was a rapper?
I didn't know you was a rapper.
Damn,
I never knew nothing about you being no rapper.
A lot of people don't even know I rap.
Listen, I knew about who you were as a rapper, knowing the story of that rapper.
Right.
But I never put the two together.
Oh,
you feel
shit.
me?
That's crazy.
I never put it together. You know, that's why I told somebody, I said, man, it's one of my biggest accomplishments right here. Because when I think about us using Read and Write Go, and I think about us using all those different programs to write and do things.
Yeah, that shit.
And when I see you wrote a script,
and
you know what I'm saying, and you got movies cracking doing that. Yeah. I kind of get to I feel like I get to take the point home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, listen. All them fucking audio shit and voiceovers and shit. That shit really helped, and it really guided me to be able to write a script. And AI is
and you used to hate putting that headphone on and using that shit. You used to be irritated. You irritated. But you see the power of that motherfucking microphone on a different platform. I said, wow, it's crazy. You get to see you was a rapper, but it's a different.
I still can't use headphones, sis. Cause what it was is I studied it. Look, check this out. Y'all gonna trip off this. I've spent over 100,000 hours of man hours in the studio. I've been making records since I was 11. Right? I'm in my 40s now. I have over 1,800 titles that are just now starting to be released. Like records after records after records. And the goal was to get it out, because before, most of our records, not most, but a big majority of our records were created before streaming, right? and been sitting on, and it's crazy because
that's
now,
crazy that you say that. So now you get to take advantage of the music industry in a different way.
And new people like are just discovering me.
Reintroducing yourself to the
Yeah, I'm reintroducing myself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Supervision. Ow! Okay.
And look, I don't have nothing against nobody. Like I'm a peace man. I'm a lover. I'm a lover and a fighter. Fuck it, I'm both. But I'm just saying,
You feel you're the best MC of all time?
I'm not only a great MC. I wouldn't say the best MC of all times because I got great motherfuckers that I follow and I can't take.
You know,
you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Like for me, the bars was everything. So it's like, you know me, I used to be signed to Cool G Rap when I was 12. You know what I'm saying? I was signed to Tone Loc when I was 16. I was signed to Ice-T when I was 14. I was, you know what I mean? All these motherfuckers was great.
Everybody knows. I told Glasses, when you see Ice-T, let them know, you know what I'm saying?
Glasses Malone?
Yeah. I tell you.
Nigga.
Shout out to Glasses.
Shout out
you feel
to
me? Glasses was a
Malone.
big mentor to me.
I got a story about Glasses.
Come on, drop the Glasses so I can drop my glory.
That nigga Glasses is such a real nigga.
Real nigga.
Listen, I didn't even know that nigga. Right? This is some years ago. I heard the nigga on the radio. I'm like, I want to fuck with that dude. Right? A mentor of mine, Kiki Loco, was working with him in one way or another at the time.
Shout out to Kiki Loco.
Shout out to Kiki, the legendary Kiki
The
Loco.
legendary.
The nigga that invented gangbang rap.
The legendary. You know what I'm saying? I was like trying to sound baby cool, but like. Right.
You know what I mean? And motherfuckers don't give him his credit, but he was the first motherfucker out here. When I went to a swap meet, I was buying a record. I was buying a tape, and it was blue. And the motherfucker was called True Blue, and
it was blue,
and it wasn't on no label. It was his label, and he was getting the dough. And I never seen no shit like that, you know, because I would go buy Ice-T and you know, and Big Daddy Kane and different nigga King T and shit like that from the swap meet. But they had Capitol Records and Priority Records and Profile, whatever the record label was. Kiki Loco shit was. Kiki Loco Records type of shit. Dirty 30 Records or some old shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. And that gave me the incentive to put out a record. I put out a record when I was 13 years old called Blind Style. Y'all see how I pearled this blunt?
Make sure.
Y'all see how I pearled this fucking blunt? Like niggas who can see can't roll better than me. That's fact. And if y'all sitting there saying, nigga, ask any nigga who know me that can see. They'll tell you. And the reason why is because I've always had more weed than you niggas. You know what I mean?
That nigga said I've always had more weed than you.
Keep it 1,000, wow. Picked up the phone to a nigga you know right now, call that nigga, and ask that nigga, has Vision always had the truth?
Hold on.